In related news,
bring out the Gimp.
A man known locally as the Gimp Man of Essex
Oh, wow.
has complained that the infamous Somerset Gimp is giving the whole Gimp community a bad reputation.
Bring out the Gimp. I think the Gimp's sleeping. Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
Welcome to the iKnowBadeaux Podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the iKnowBadeaux Podcast, coming at you from the Slice on Oak Studios. I am Mayor Dave Badeaux, the city brainer. With me, as always, is my brother.
A cat farted on me again.
Okay, moving on. Gabriel Johnson, how goes it?
Dave, it goes. You told me last week that the Coen brothers called Minnesota the
Yes.
Siberia with family restaurants.
Yes.
I just want to report to all of our listeners that it is October
Yes.
and we have snow on the ground.
It is October. We have snow on the ground. I'm glad you brought up that it's October because it's the last day of October.
Barely. We got in there, though.
Barely in there. So if you're looking at our faces and you see that Gabriel Johnson does not have a beard and looks ridiculous, Halloween. If you're looking at me and you're saying, what is going on with those sideburns? Halloween. People won't get to see this video until like months later, though. So
Right. When it drops on Christmas, people be like, what the hell are they doing?
anyways, everyone knows what time it is. Don't tell Scotty he does the news.
I sure do. Garth Brooks has unveiled his latest album, Time Traveler, as part of a limited edition box set. The limited series 7-disc box set features the country star's self-produced 14th studio album, as well as 2014's Man Against Machine, 2016's Gunslinger, 2020's Fun, and the 2019 Triple Live concert album. The box will hit stores on November 7th, and according to a representative for the singer, it will be your only option to hear Brooks's new album. As it, quote, will not be released as an individual offering and will not be available for streaming on Amazon.
Wow.
Amazon
So
Music?
people are going to pirate the hell out of it.
Yes.
Amazon Music? Not a chance. Spotify? No way. Google Music? Never heard of it. Where can you get this album? Exclusively at Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, man. Is this where the next Chris Gaines is going to drop as well?
It's on brand.
Yeah. Wow. I heard he was talking about Chris Gaines again.
I don't know who that is.
So he had a concept album in the late 90s where he was...
Height of his fame.
Height of his fame. He decided to drop a alternative album, I would call it.
Rock.
Rock album. But he was an alter ego called Chris Gaines. Had quite the goatee, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep, had
little
soul
tiny
patch.
soul patch. Yeah, soul patch. Yeah. Yeah. And dropped an album under the title Chris Gaines.
And had an SNL appearance as Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
I think
Really?
Garth Brooks hosted and Chris Gaines was the musical guest that night.
That's clever.
That's clever. But is this also coming to Bass Pro Shops?
What, Chris Gaines?
Yeah. Is it a part of the package?
Not according to this. I see no mention of anyone named Chris Gaines.
So you have to buy, it's a box set, essentially.
Yep. Physical copy.
God, how much do you think that's going to run?
Only at Bass Pro Shops.
Unbelievable.
7 albums, it's going to cost $200.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was thinking 150. So, yeah, that's freaking unbelievable.
As the limited series box set will reach physical shelves on November 7th, the store cautions that it cannot guarantee that there will be enough inventory to stock our retail stores by the time the set is released.
Is it a CD? Like, is this a CD? Because how am I playing this? I don't have a CD player.
That's a good question.
Wait, I do have a CD player in my car. There's a CD player in my car. It still has, I believe it has a burned copy of the Beach Boys from when my kids were little.
Was John Stamos on that one?
Well, yes, there's Kokomo. So, yes, absolutely.
Probably records nowadays.
Yeah, you would think, but that's the only way you're going to release a whole album?
A whole box set.
Yeah.
7 albums. Or something like that.
Keep an eye on this.
Head down to Rogers, do some... Because we only have one Bass Pro Shops in the whole state of
That
Minnesota.
was going to be
you
my next
serious?
question. Where is the nearest Bass Pro Shop?
Yeah,
you
there's one in
serious?
like Rogers, Minnesota. That's, I think, the only one in the state.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
So there's only one place in the entire state to get this Garth Brooks thing.
There's gonna be a line. Oh man, I just don't understand. So I get the idea of not having streaming, but then when you think about it, how do I listen to it? You know, because no offense, I don't want a CD right now.
No.
I really don't. I thought about it the other day because I had all those CDs and then they got stolen out of my car. And I was like, oh, that would have been cool to give those to my son. You know, like, oh, here's a whole, literal library of music. But then at the same time, I was like, what's he going to do with it? What's he going to do with it?
He's going to put him in his Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been shopping record players. I've been thinking about getting back into physical media and get rid of this streaming stuff.
I can understand the record player part, but the CD player to me doesn't make sense. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. That's a lot of work to me for music now. Like the record player feels like that's an experience. Putting a CD into a CD player does not feel like an experience to me.
What about a Walkman with bass boost?
With bass boost? A Discman or a Walkman? Like the straight up Walkman with the cassette?
The Discman, sorry.
Discman, I would just sit there and tap the top of it and show people. See, anti-skip.
Yep. Anti-shock.
Anti-shock.
Yeah,
See?
you could take this thing for a run. No, you
See?
can't. No, you can't. I tried it many times.
All right, anyways. Derailed that one a little bit, but that's amazing to me.
Yeah. It's an interesting business decision.
Yes, please buy my album at a store that isn't anywhere near you.
And it's a 7-album box set. So shipping on it's $47.
2 artificial insemination tanks have been stolen during a burglary in Cloger, County Tyrone. They are thought to have been taken from an outbuilding on Ballynis Road sometime between 1500 on 21 October and 1300 on 23 October.
Is this Canada or Britain?
I'm thinking Britain, but
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Okay.
I don't know where County Tyrone is.
All I know is all those dates and times were backwards.
The tanks contained what has been described as a large quantity of cattle semen.
I wasn't ready for semen.
So,
Tanks.
so when you picture what has been described as a large quantity of bull semen,
I'm thinking the brewery where you got the whole bar out front and you got the big stainless steel tanks behind you.
That's what I think of when I think of a tank.
That seems like a large amount of bull semen. This ain't milk.
that's about as far as I made it into that one.
I don't think just keep an eye on it to find out where it went.
Do they tell you how many liters it is?
No. The size of the tanks stolen is not known, but the police say they and their contents were of significant value.
It's science.
How much is a liter of bull semen?
Probably a lot, but
Well, if it comes from a prize-winning animal, it can command a very high price.
yeah, but this
They would have put a lock on the door.
and if it's a significant amount, this is like one single malt. This is a mash. This is at least a double malt of semen. This isn't just individual one bowl. Oh, you got freaking
Crafted blend. Yeah.
you got Benny the Bull over here in this one. Unbelievable. So inseminating of cows is fucking crazy. Well, you've seen Jackass.
Yes,
Where
we've
they
all
have to do
seen
it.
Jackass.
Yeah, everybody's seen Jackass. But Callie had to do that in school, though, in college. We had to do that. Freaking sleeve up to your shoulder and get in there. First remove the feces, then move in and grab the cervix. So that's what they do. They go in and they grab the cervix.
Ugh.
No thanks.
This theft has surprised those in agriculture. Tools and quad bikes, even animals, are more easily stolen and sold on. So apparently it's quite weird.
Yeah, it's a pretty limited market for large quantities of bull semen.
Yeah.
Okay, but then sorry. Then I'm super curious about the way this article's written because it's like clearly just one guy who's calling and asking very specific questions. Because he writes, they are of a size that can be transported in a car strapped in with a seatbelt. But you would have to drive very slowly to ensure the lid didn't come off.
Oh, no. Oh, so it is like one of those old-timey milk things. Oh, no.
Milk was a bad choice.
Careful. Careful around that curve.
I suppose a significant amount probably could just be a Kemp's 1 liter or 1 gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
That's still a lot.
Significant amount of bull semen.
I just want to know how he got that information. Did you ask that specific question?
Oh, absolutely.
Could I like put this in my passenger side and buckle it into the seatbelt? Oh yeah, you could absolutely do that, but you'd have to drive really slow.
Careful. It's slippery substance. Wow. Well, I hope. You know what?
Life finds a way.
Let's get a a little Venn diagram of people that could have potentially stolen the bull semen and people that know where a Bass Pro Shops are.
That's probably pretty. It's probably pretty good.
A flat circle.
A flat circle. I love that you're just like, I think there's one Bass Pro Shop somewhere.
All right.
Yeah.
Disabled man drags himself off plane after Air Canada fails to offer wheelchair.
Again.
It's happened again.
Again.
God, I love this country.
Air Canada has been forced to apologize after a man with spastic cerebral palsy.
Oh,
Wow, that's a
come
hard
on,
word.
man. Really?
Was forced to drag himself off a plane when the flagship carrier failed to provide a wheelchair for him.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Did they say no when he requested it, or like how does that even happen?
So the first lady, she asked, and they said she had to pay for it. And so she said, I'm not paying to get off your plane. And then dragged herself up. But that sounded like she just didn't have use of her legs. This seems wickedly inappropriate. Like, come on, guys. Like, help the guy out. Right? I mean, not that making a lady drag herself out of a plane is more appropriate.
You're making a man?
Oh, come on. All right.
When the plane landed, the flight attendant told the couple it was a guy and his wife on their way to Vegas for their anniversary. The flight attendant told the couple that there wasn't time to get a wheelchair on board before the plane had to prepare for takeoff again.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I will sit right here. Thank you very much.
Yep. Right off.
There's no time. You better make time.
Have you
Or I'm going to Buffalo.
Yeah, where are we going next?
I was going to make a really inappropriate joke about how long it was going to take him to get off the plane. Be like, it's going to be faster anyways.
Yeah. What do you mean there's no time?
I'll tell you what.
How long do you think this is going to take?
I'll tell you what. I'll get started. We'll meet halfway. God, what a bunch of assholes, though. Seriously. And if you're late
Wouldn't you have one waiting at the gate?
Yeah, of course you should. You fucked up. The idea that, because the one lady had to pay, I believe is what the first one was.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that if you buy a ticket and need a wheelchair to get onto the plane, that should just be a service that is provided by the actual airline. I can't see any reasonable reason not to have, even if it's just one.
Well,
Right?
have you ever been to an airport? There are plenty of wheelchairs.
Yes. There's
Plenty.
always somebody zipping around on something. Get the freaking golf cart. Zip me down on that. Yeah, I don't. It seems like such a weird thing. And of all the things that you could be late for, like, oh, our flight's running a little late, right? Let's just. And I understand there's a domino effect to that then every flight is late. But that's one where you just get over the top of the thing and you're like, yeah, there was a guy that needed a wheelchair, and most people will be like, completely acceptable reason why we're 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Completely acceptable fucking reason.
Well, they don't ever give you a reason.
No, of course they don't. But that's the reason. That's the reason I would give every fucking time. Every time. Guy with a wheelchair.
I couldn't find a wheelchair.
Guy with a wheelchair, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be a couple minutes late. I'm sorry, it's been a 2-hour delay. We are still waiting on the wheelchair.
The company acknowledged Hodgins received inadequate support. Quote, "We used the services of a third-party wheelchair assistance specialist in Las Vegas to provide safe transport on and off aircraft." So, not our fault.
Yep.
Not our fault. These guys didn't have the wheelchair ready.
So they just got a freelance wheelchair artist.
Yep.
That's job is just to cruise around the entire airport, making sure people get off the plane.
Like a wheelchair Uber.
Sitting there reading a paper, folding up his lunch, putting it away to bring the wheelchair over.
Following our investigation into how this serious service lapse occurred, we will be evaluating other mobility assistance service partners in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So like 2 weeks ago, Air Canada lost the wheelchair of Canada's Chief Accessibility Officer, Stephanie Cadeau,
You got to lead with that.
who described the experience as immensely frustrating and dehumanizing. So within 2 weeks, 2 people, and one of them, who is the fucking chief,
I support
the Chief Accessibility Officer.
I support fucking that person over.
Yeah, a little bit. Do you know who I am?
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Unfreaking real. All right. Blame Canada.
Absolutely.
Next.
Are you guys familiar with someone named Amouranth?
Yes, I am actually.
No.
Okay, well, this person has taken the internet by storm with her hot tub streams, shock investments, and partnerships to sell everything from fart jars to her bathwater.
Yep.
I see why Dave knows who she is and why I don't.
Oh, yeah, I know all about this
Yeah.
person. Smell her every night. In an exclusive interview with Dexerto, the OnlyFans model was asked about how she had previously teased a new drink following the success of Logan Paul and KSI's Prime, and spilled some details about the upcoming beverage. According to the Twitch streamer, Polish brewery The Order of Yoni wants to use her for a new beer. And she's surprisingly excited about the opportunity.
No.
You know what it
Pass.
is now? Crack one down and pass it around.
She confirmed that she will be working with the company to produce this beer, and they have a history of using models' smears
So she's
for
getting
quite a few years now.
She's getting her brewer's license, I assume, right?
You haven't even said it yet. We're just hinting about how gross it is.
Quote, I'm actually working with a beverage company. It's not my own. I'm still doing that project. There's a beer company. They're European. They want me to send in my vaginal yeast.
For fuck's sake.
God.
Like, basically, like pap smear myself.
Oh my God.
They want to make beer using my vaginal yeast.
It's a formidable scent.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
buy that.
No, don't buy that. And you can't drink it out in public. So now you're drinking it at home. The people that are drinking vaginal yeast beer at home are not people that I want anything to do with.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, the people buying fart jars, Dave.
Well,
I mean, we'll come on your podcast, but other than that.
listen, I have no problem with people making money. If she can find people to buy
Yeah,
that stuff,
100%,
go right
dude.
ahead. You go right ahead. Do you want to know why I know who she is? So
No, I don't. Actually, nope. Next.
So G4 TV, the video game cable channel that was from the late 90s, early 2000s, they went under and then got relaunched like 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then immediately started the go woke, go broke stuff. If you don't like it, don't watch. You know, like, we're going to be empowering and all this stuff, which is all fine and dandy, except for when your audience is a bunch of young men that remember watching the thing you had.
Yeah, you had Olivia Munn on there. Like one of the most famous scenes of it is her trying to eat a hot dog.
Without her hands.
Floating in the
Yes.
air.
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was just
That's your that's your product for this audience.
that's your product. You tried to relaunch it, and then you're like, we're not that anymore.
Yeah, what do you want? Sexy girls? Blech.
So they go on their rant, and then they're all supportive of, yes, absolutely, 100%, go girl. We are all in line with this. And then like a week later had Amouranth on in a tub of like jelly or something. So like a week after they did the whole we are not that anymore, brought this chick on. And so that's the only reason I even know who she was. And then it was the backstory of the selling of the farts in jars and all this other stuff. Oh, it owns a bunch of gas stations, which
Gas stations?
so sold her farts and then went in and bought gas stations and like evidently makes good money doing
She's
other
a bit of a
things.
gas mogul.
She
All things gas.
Multifaceted.
multifaceted. But come on with the yeast. Come on.
How much would you have to be paid to drink?
I don't think I would. I think that's something that you can never live down. Because what are you going to do? Are you going to do it quietly on your own?
No, we're going to bring it to the podcast.
Yeah, not if you're getting paid.
Oh my God. Are we going to do it on the podcast?
I refuse. You can't live that down.
You're lucky you're sober.
Oh, beer. You can't live that down. There's no way to consume that and not have it be
Forever hate yourself.
Yeah. It's pervy and gross. It's both pervy and gross.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pass. If it was just pervy, let's go. If it's just gross, let's go. But pervy and gross, I'm gonna draw the line.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Speaking of pervy and gross.
Oh God, you're on a freaking terror today. I should have known. It's been a while since you've done this to us.
Oh, God. I think we'll leave that one alone. We'll go to the other pervy and gross one.
Okay.
We won't talk about the guy and his miniature horse.
Oh no,
That poor thing.
not little Sebastian.
I think that might have been its name.
I mean, you have to name it Little Sebastian. We just saw some miniature horses at the Halloween event for the kids. They got in. They got to go pet. There's a little petting area. They had rabbits, which I am fascinated by rabbits. I think they're the cutest thing in the world. And then there are these little miniature freaking horses.
What do you like about rabbits?
I think I've said this.
Cute.
They're cute. They're cute. They're cute. They're cute. Anyways, miniature horses though are fucking adorable. Those completely understand the little Sebastian thing with Nick Offerman, from Parks and Rec. You see him and you're just like, yeah, that's that's pretty fucking cute. It just stands there, doesn't move, doesn't do anything, just lets kids come up and pet it. It's perfect.
Would you like a bunny the size of a miniature horse?
I would not like a bunny the size of a miniature horse.
What if it could stand up like a human?
I would pass on that. It's creepy and weird.
I don't buy it.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Next.
Since the so-called Somerset Gimp first emerged 5 years ago, he has caused a mishmash of distress, fear, and concern in this picturesque, usually peaceful rural area 10 miles south of Bristol, set just back from the coast. Chris Jackson, the chair of Yatton Parish Council, said, "There's a mix of feelings. There is some disquiet among people who worry they may come across him late at night. But there is also sympathy that this individual may have problems."
So let's just call him the Gimp.
Let's call him the Gimp. But he may have some problems.
Yeah, sightings of a figure who slips out from the shadows at night, dressed top to toe in black bondage-like gear. So there's a guy.
Bring out the Gimp.
For the last 5 years. Just every once in a while. Pops out from the shadows.
And then what? And how do you not hear him back there squeaking?
Yeah, right. So, oh God, this story was so long, and I'm trying to find out.
Give us the Cliff Notes version of it.
So, that is the Cliff Notes version of it. For the last 5 years, there's been a guy in a
gimp
shiny gimp suit that just appears at random and freaks people out.
So he's not really breaking any laws. He's just being weird.
Yeah.
He's just being
Just a
weird.
weirdo.
He's just being weird.
Might have some problems.
Except for when he gets close to people and flops on the ground and speaks in tongues at them.
Oh.
Well, might have a problem.
Such a claim has resonance in this area. In the 18th century, a man called George Lukens was dubbed the Yatton Daemonic for supposedly being possessed. An exorcism took place in 1788. No exorcist was called for here. Instead, the police scrambled a dog unit and a helicopter, and a man was arrested on suspicion of causing a public nuisance.
Oh, okay.
He was released on bail with conditions to remain home between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
I like it. Only gimping during the day.
Does not look like he regrets anything.
Oh, yeah. He does kind of look like a gimp, doesn't he?
He does, even without the mask. Well, then, in related news,
Bring out the Gimp.
A man known locally as the Gimp Man of Essex
Oh, wow.
has complained that the infamous Somerset Gimp is giving the whole Gimp community a bad reputation.
Oh, he's suing him for copyright infringement.
Yes, the Gimp Man of Essex, known widely in Colchester, where he is often spotted doing his weekly supermarket shop wearing his suit,
Oh, God.
said he looks to use
God.
fetish for good by organizing charity fundraisers.
No, you don't. You're literally just trying to get a rise out of people. People are so fucking dumb. So he just goes to the supermarket and shops in full bondage.
Yep.
Go the fuck home. Go the fuck home. Just go home. Nobody gives
At least between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Yeah. At least this guy's not jumping out of bushes. But actually, you know what? Fuck that. I like the other guy better. At least the other guy is wearing his fucking weirdness right on his fucking sleeve, flopping on the ground, making weird noises. The other guy's trying to be normal.
At night to adults,
Yeah.
not in public places.
Just trying to be fucking assholes. What you're trying to get people all riled up. Go the fuck home.
No,
Nobody
he
cares.
says this guy has done everything the Gimp community is trying to do. He has undone everything the Gimp
I
community
thought
is
the
trying
Gimp
to do.
community was just trying to get fucked.
hard.
That's
Mostly, I think it was mostly like beat up.
well, okay.
It gives us all a bad rep.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Jumping out on women, however you're dressed, isn't right. There are innocent guys like me who go out on walks in their Gimp suits.
Yeah.
This guy is hiding around in the dark at night and scaring people lifeless. That's different. I wouldn't be surprised if alcohol or drugs were involved. They are asking for trouble terrorizing people like that late at night.
I wouldn't be surprised if mental health is not involved.
It sounds like you might have a problem.
It sounds like the Gimp community.
Is maybe a problem.
Your brain has the shell on
There have been nearly 24 sightings of the Somerset Gimp since 2018, leaving Countess residents terrified. Countess? Or is it supposed to say countless?
Probably.
Let's say countless.
Countless.
Residents terrified. In 2019, one witness snapped a picture of him wearing his suit and touching his groin in the street. Earlier this year, Alex Warren, 19, and a pal stumbled on a Gimp squirming around in the dirt and speaking in tongues in the village of Cleve. Alex Warren and a pal, it says.
Yeah, we're just friends.
Who is your pal? Who's your pal?
Friends. Don't tell my wife. We're just friends.
He's just my pal.
That was the incident where the helicopter was involved and they got the guy arrested.
Helicopter to chase down a Gimp.
He ain't moving that fast. Not in that
Where
stuff.
they have the like the heat vision.
Yeah.
The infrared. Those eyes.
It's like I'm bringing be like Cyclops' beam from the X-Men. There he is.
I think that man's on fire. The suspect was released on bail on the condition that he does not leave his home between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Okay.
Officers investigated whether all the attacks were carried out by a lone Gimp
Oh.
or a gang of Gimps.
I would call it a community.
Gathering of the Gimp.
I laughed to myself for probably about 10
Yeah.
minutes when I read the sentence. Officers investigated whether all the attacks were carried out by a lone Gimp or a gang of Gimps. A gang of Gimps.
I think that you want to be the Gimp. You don't want to be around other Gimps. It's not. I don't think that's
they take all the licks.
Yeah, you want to be the Gimp. You don't want to be a Gimp.
No.
Interesting. Sounds like these police officers need to do a little bit more research.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a gang of Gimps. Have you ever seen a movie? The Gimp Man of Essex said, unlike his Somerset counterpart, he tried to be as normal as possible when he's out. He often shares his outings on social media and is currently has a Just Giving page on his TikTok where people can donate to Mind, a mental health charity.
Oh, of course.
Might have
Of
a
course.
problem.
That's great though.
You can't claim you're being normal when you're going out in your Gimp costume.
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah. And great spokesperson for mental health.
Yep.
Hey, I'm fucking weird.
And no normal person puts their everyday, day-to-day shit on social media.
No. Yeah.
Well, some people do, but they might have a problem.
Here's what I would say, okay? If what you're putting on the internet is just normal shit and people are watching it, you're doing something fucking weird. Somewhere in there. If you're just shopping and people are watching it, you're doing something fucking weird. So I don't know what that is.
Or your children's YouTube channel.
Well, yeah, but even that's fucking weird.
It is.
That's fucking weird.
Blippi's weird.
Blippi's fucking weird. The dad that I can't even remember what his name is, but he showed up again, and his kids are now like 12. There was one that kept getting in trouble because he was basically just using his kids, which is what they're all
they
doing.
all
They
are.
all are.
They all are. That's why I don't.
And then letting
My
him do-
daughter tries to watch that, and I'm like, no, no, absolutely not. Fucking weird.
It's fucking weird. I would say though, I appreciate though that he is a spokesperson for mental health. You know, he's just saying, look, do you want more of us? No. Okay, get some fucking money. Some fucking money, or you're going to get more of me.
Yeah, there will be a whole gang of us if you're not careful.
The Gimp Gang. You got one more for us?
You know,
It sounds like I don't want to hear the other one.
you don't.
Okay.
Poor Sebastian.
Yeah, I forgot that's what it was. No. Do you got one more, or should we?
I
give it
mean,
a
we
rest?
could. A small New Zealand city has been plagued by drivers blasting Celine Dion ballads at 2 a.m. for almost a year.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, the residents of a small city in New Zealand have been enduring sleepless nights for months due to drivers blasting Celine Dion songs from their cars in the early hours of the morning.
Plural.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a gang.
Yeah, they have been cranking up the volume on the Canadian songstress's most famous ballads, including "My Heart Will Go On."
Sure.
And "It's All Coming Back to Me Now."
Oh, yeah. You know what? I had forgotten. However,
It's all coming back.
that's great. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. I
Yeah.
would call that pumping up the jams.
Yes, the nocturnal concerts tend to begin as early as 7 p.m., continuing for many hours.
Nocturnal concerts. I like that.
Yes. It's part of the siren battles trend that has been going strong in New Zealand for several years, which appears to be particularly popular with indigenous people from the Pacific Islands.
See a bunch of big Samoan guys rolling around playing Celine Dion.
That's not who I pictured.
No.
Okay. All right.
These
power to
battles
you.
involve rival crews competing to blast the most powerful and clear sounds from loudspeakers attached to cars or even bicycles to win the title of Siren King.
Clear. I like that because you say that, and all I'm picturing is the 90s, mid 90s subwoofer.
Shaking the car.
Yeah. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
You want clear as day, great sound.
You need
Nope.
to hear Celine Dion.
Yes.
Yep, and Celine Dion's music is especially popular because songs need to showcase treble rather than bass.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, in order to be clear
Yeah.
and to carry.
Exactly. It's the
All about
exact
that treble.
It's the exact opposite
Yeah, interesting.
of what we're used to hearing.
It's because they stand upside down.
Everything's backwards. Makes sense. Checks out.
Yeah, completely checks out. All right. Are we done with that one? Or you got a little bit more on it?
That's kind of the gist of that one.
I like it. I will say this as a man who has to make laws, local ordinances. I don't know where I would stand on that. I'd probably say, let it ride.
I think we have a noise ordinance, but I don't know if Celine Dion could be classified as noise.
I don't think so. I would take the strict stance. Celine Dion is not noise.
What is it?
Terrible music, but it's not
Terrible
but
music.
It's not noise. It's not terrible music. It's very well crafted.
I will say, My Heart Will Go On. One of the best memes.
Oh yes.
Like when a sporting event happens and you just overlay Celine
Yes.
Dion to like the Minneapolis Miracle happening or something like that. Improves the video.
Oh, 100%.
Improves the quality.
And it doesn't matter what's happening.
No.
Anything can be happening. And it definitely improves it. All right, Scotty, thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad we skipped the one about the horse. I'm actually really glad about that because we were We were right.
I had the police report and everything.
Okay, we were right up to the cusp. If the fans would like to hear that, they can let us know, and we will.
You can Google it yourself.
What's the gentleman's name? Do you at least know the gentleman's name so they can find it easier?
I'll find out.
Because I don't know if you. I mean, we can send our listeners to just look up
Jad Shipman.
Okay, Jad Shipman.
J-A-D.
Oh, I would have thought it was a double D, just a regular
Not
D.
if he's fucking elusive.
Well, he's not the one doing it. He wanted to hire somebody else to do it for him.
Oh my God! All right, moving on. Ew. Just a voyeur over here. All right, thank you to the Boutros
Yes, of
Boutros.
course.
And thank you to Gabriel
My
Johnson.
pleasure.
Thank you, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. I think we're going to do a game. I've got to get something figured out, but we'll get a guest in here. We'll do a game, and then we'll wind our way back into the end of the month, because that'll be the start of next month, actually. Or this technically is the start of the month. So we'll wind our way through that. And then we're on 97, are we not? 1997?
I'm so ready for 1997. I'm never going to shut up. There's so many things to talk about.
Okay. I'm excited because that's a great year. Fantastic year.
Oh, yeah. We'll do 20 minutes on The Pest.
Oh, God. I mean, yeah, probably. I'm a big fan of 98, too, so that's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that. As always, get us in your picks for what you'd like us to talk about for 1997. Throw out some comments about any of the other stuff as well. If you want to hear Scott tell more weird stories, please let us know. If you would like Scott to tell less weird stories, please let us know as well. I don't
read the news, man.
well, anyways. But yeah, let us know about 1997, and then we'll be making our way through that. And yeah, hopefully we'll keep this gravy train rolling. And until then, we're done. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't talk about the horse one, especially after that.
There's one too many. That's
Yeah.
all that was on the list.
It was
all that was on the list.
It was cascading. You were cascading, and I think going to the Gimp as opposed to the horse. Starting with horse semen and then ending with horse semen, probably not. I mean, it's a full circle, but I don't know if that's the circle.
Celine Dion, jug of horse semen. What's the difference?
So what are you doing with the semen? What are you doing with it? I mean, I can only think that you're trying to make money, right? Right?
You're either trying to make money,
or make better bowls.
or maybe you're a customer and you're sick of paying their inflated rates. I'm going to just get my own, steal your fucking semen.
See, I hadn't thought of that. I had thought of like either you are a rancher and just like, yeah, why wouldn't I? But I hadn't thought of like potential of these guys. They don't even keep their semen under wraps. That's my semen now. It's my semen.
Look at me. It's my semen.
I'm the semen now.